beautiful Taurians, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for April 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam. Okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Taurians, this is your monthly reading for April. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Taurians? What do they need to know for the month of April 2025? Can you please show them the way? Well, April has literally sprung upon us, and we have officially started a new astrological year. The sun has moved into the sign of fiery Aries, so it's really time to embrace your inner rebel and expect your energy levels to rise, rise, rise. Now, over the last couple of months, we've all truly been dealing with some challenging energy, but the eclipses are now out of the way. For now, of course, both Mercury and Venus turn direct mid-month, leading to a rare occurrence where all planets are direct, which means personally it's full steam ahead. Obstacles dissolve. Look at that. You've got the Fool card, full steam ahead. Also, you're asking, where's the fun at? So we'll tap into that energy in a moment. But basically, obstacles kind of dissolve faster, and complicated energy untangles itself with a total alignment for brighter things to come during this period. You know, they become a little bit more manageable. Now, if you've been struggling with anything, this is a great problem-solving month to move ahead. April is also the payoff month for previous hard work too, setting you up with opportunities to level up and shine. And the greatest of rewards can reach you now during this period to set you up nicely for the rest of the year ahead. As you take charge of your life, lead with passion, creatively embrace your hobbies as well, and set your sights high whilst boldly striding towards accomplishing your goals. This is the month to get assertive, to carve out the life that you've been manifesting and set yourself up for positive change. Now Saturn and Venus conjunct Rahu, the North Node, this month, which is pretty intense and really is a big deal, as it has not occurred since 1968. Now, we only need to look back at that time period to really understand some of the challenges the world faced or even witnessed, shall I say, to realize what similarities we may encounter ahead. But on a personal level, expect some serious soul searching this month about where you feel like you belong, where you feel like your future is headed. And of course, Saturn will also be very strict with you and focus you to take a long, hard look at where you aspire to be, as well as put, positive movements in motion to be on track. It really will help you to break free from challenging karma as well, because Saturn delivers consequences for negative actions and rewards you for positive ones. And Venus, of course, will make sure that you're making the right decisions to do what you love from your heart space and really harmonize. I'm just going to get the cards in order there. Will really help you to harmonize, to take the edge off the karmic exchange. So you may feel like you have to make some serious life-affirming decisions during April, where the universe will offer you fated opportunities and connections to make things happen for your highest good. Now, Neptune has moved into the sign of Aries, and this is a transition that takes 165 years to complete. So it really is a fresh new cycle. However, with all this fiery energy whizzing about subtly, there is a potential for the odd clash or argument, shall we say. So it's really important to channel your energy into pursuits that fulfill your needs or purpose. Otherwise, it can lead to a bit of frustration. Now, Neptune, the planet of inspiration, influences you to concentrate concentrate on your dreams or goals. Partnered with the high-octane passion of Aries season, it really makes sure you're productive, let's say, to take action, remain focused, and leave any temptation in the dust, especially if it is a temptation to procrastinate. Now, the super new moon in your sign, my beautiful Taurians, occurs on the 27th of April. And this new moon helps you attract new money, encouraging new money-making ideas, maybe even tax rebates or some sort of compensation on something, small increases in finances, or even bonuses to manifest into your life. You'll really leave April super proud of all that you've accomplished and look forward to all that is yet to come. Now, Venus has also been retrograding until now, so if you have been feeling like this languishing malaise energy recently, then this season will literally jolt you back into rediscovering your playful side to seek out new adventures. And whether you want to meet a soulmate or a soul tribe friend for life, this really is a time where strong relationships are formed. And existing relationships, of course, are given a bit of a reboot of excitement as you dust off any humdrum energy. You may feel a little more flamboyant this month, bold and daring, and the universe will respond to this energy by sending people or opportunities your way to enhance your life experience on this earthly plane. Now, of course, with all the positive energy, there is an opposite energy. I don't want to say negative because I feel, every energy has a balance, but on a global scale, and please fast forward this part if you really don't want to hear it, Neptune in Aries, it often mixes a whiff of evolution and revolution to the air, as it's going to drive this transit forward and the collective awaken at greater speeds. It's really a time for shattering long-standing illusions, exposing secrets, scandals, redacted documents are released, and hidden information are revealed, even highlighting where areas are broken to push for societal change. Strikes or boycotts in various industries could rise up during this period as well to push for fairer working conditions or push back even on technology, cornering a market to limit the chaos of severances or redundancies. Pluto's opposition to Mars on the 26th of April might also add some bumpy transformative energy, exposing some hidden financial truths that need correcting, especially with trade fictions. Okay, now, of course, we could also see a triggering of an unexpected power struggle, and it will increase a domino effect of conflict too. And of course, we also have some challenging solar flares to deal with as well. Okay, this period is going to be a little bit challenging, and this is towards the middle of the month, let's put it that way. These solar flares during the season, because of course Aries is a fiery season, so it's going to trigger unusual, unseasonal weather events. Well, what's new? Recently, there's been a lot of crazy energy, but, it will also increase seismic and volcanic activity. And we've already seen this happen, and this may briefly impact the travel industry at some point too, as well as, the usual power outages. It does seem that every day we are hearing about major shifts going on all over the world, which I actually did foresee in my channel messages last year. And I underlined that 2025 is going to be a year of fire and water, and we've seen a lot of that going on in this year so far. And I now actually see a significant event where marine life unusually beach, indicating a major tectonic restructure involving an underwater volcano, which keeps coming up in my visions, but I feel like we're going to see some signs. I mean, always look to the animal kingdom for behavior and world shifts, because they intuitively kind of prepare for these things, and they always kind of indicate with their behavior of, some changes to come. And the earth, it moves all the time, of course, to remove pressure, but this is a global awakening of restructure and tectonic plates, maybe even symbolic perhaps of humanity's restlessness with the way things are right now. The pressure is on, and shifts of change are upon us to forge new landscapes for the better. But on a personal level, this month it actually ushers in a fresh new feel to trailblaze adventurous pathways to all that you desire. April reignites your zest for life. life. You know, expect a flurry of activity, like events, invitations, festivals, or at least your interest in these things start to increase. Opportunities come your way. Everything is there to keep you on your toes in a really positive way as you actively keep your life moving forward whilst having fun along the way. And your first card there is like, where is that fun at? Okay. I feel like you want to kick back and be a little bit like footloose and fancy free, because I feel like you have a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders at this moment in time. I also feel like you're kind of like fed up with waiting for something. You're working really hard, investing all of your energy into something, and it just feels like a lot. I'm being shown right now like a hamster on a wheel. Okay, so a lot of you may feel like you're on autopilot, you're just doing you. Every day seems like it's kind of the same, with the odd strange occurrence you have to deal with and manage and then get back to the usual set of circumstances. But this Fool card with April energy, I mean, this is an Aries card, so it can indicate you're really influenced with this Aries dynamic where you're like, I want a fresh new start. I want to try something new. So a lot of you are going to be seeking new experiences in the month of April, whether it is new travel destinations. I feel a lot of you are like, yeah, I've been there, done that, you know, it was great, and I may revisit it sometime, but right now I want something different. I want to be curious about the world again. I want to reignite that spark of curiosity, that childlike spirit to believe in the magic of the world again, because it's been pretty heavy, it's been pretty hard. And this Fool card energy indicates like a fresh new approach across the board. I mean, this energy could trigger you to leave a job if you feel like you've hit a plateau, because we do have that Queen of Coins energy. So a lot of you may have hit like a certain plateau financially in your industry, and you're keeping your eyes peeled for alternative opportunities to increase your wealth, because that Queen of Coins is there to multiply finances. And this is your protagonist energy. So you're more about, you know, your acquisitions, your fortune during this period. And of course, your sixth house is influencing you at the beginning of the month. And this is all about your daily routines. So, you know, it's like schedules, focusing on work if you're in a career. It's about paying bills, for example, savings plans, budgets, repayment plans, you know, pensions, 401ks. It's basically about stability. It's about, you know, keeping your life running smoothly. And that can feel a little bit humdrum, right? The sixth house sometimes can feel a little bit dull and boring, but actually I feel it's one of the most important houses, because it actually keeps us all having our life running smoothly and ticking over. Okay, so a lot of you are going to be focusing on, you know, keeping things running in the background as smoothly as possible, like direct debits, you know, all of those stuff, all of those things. And it's kind of like you going, now I want to go out and play, I want to have fun, I want to explore new things. So it's almost like you're building your empire, and now you have a springboard to be curious about the alternative. So with this card, I see like you know, you either launching something new, or perhaps taking a first step towards something that you've never done before. This could be that you're paying for like a hobby, or you're submerging yourself in something you've always wanted to do but never gotten around to do it. You know, this is a month to really follow your passions and not have anything hold you back as you go out there and kind of like be a maverick, take a risk, but it's a calculated risk there. You know, this card indicates there's so much potential for you this month, but it also indicates like a fresh new start, because I feel March was a little bit challenging. I feel like you've had a lot on your mind, especially since we have that High Priestess energy there. You've been thinking deeply about you know, your path in life. And, you know, I just want to wish all those beautiful Taurians a happy birthday, if your birthday falls at the end of April, of course, and of course, you know, when your birthday arrives as we move into May there as well. But this could be a milestone month for you where you're really thinking about your legacy. You know, you're thinking about your path, because this is the pathway. So it can be that, you know, you're thinking about your destiny, you're thinking about, you know, reaching a milestone, taking stock of like where you've come from, you know, when you were a child, you know, all those memories and, you know, all the journey that you've had until now, and really taking stock of all that you've achieved so far, but being really nostalgic about the good old days. I want you to be aware there are better days to come as well. So I feel you don't have to look back for all the good stuff. There are some really great things ahead of you there as well. But this Fool card is an energy of like fresh new start. Now, some of you may be downsizing or decluttering this month, because of course the Fool Fool card doesn't need much or require much in order to go out there and have fun. So it could be that you're embracing your independence, but also you're looking for like a fresh new start. And this could start at home. Especially since we have that Queen of Pentacles, you're going to be focused on your home life. So a lot of you, there is an energy, if you've been a bit of hermit recently, you could be getting out a little bit more in the community, going to social events. But also I feel there is this energy of like transforming your home in some way. So there could be like a new addition to your home. Perhaps you're putting up like new shelving or, doing some DIY, for example. Basically with the sun energy there as well, you're building a sanctuary in your home space to bring you peace and joy. But also the sun energy is to expand in energy. And I feel like you are having an approach where, you either are trying something new, whether it's a style or a way of living, or even like a financial approach to something, and you're not sure how it's going to go, because the Fool card never knows how, anything is going to go, but it's an energy of like trying it out. But the Queen of Pentacles and the sun energy indicates that you're going to expand on this opportunity, and you're going to really feel fulfilled with it as well. So I feel there's a lot of joy, a lot of prosperity, and a lot of returns coming back to you for all of your hard work. Now, this could manifest in many different forms. You've got Queen of Swords here, and you've got the Fool card again. The first card is the Fool card, and the last card is the Fool card. So, this is definitely fresh new start territory. But we can't always like leave our job or leave a neighborhood or leave the country and move somewhere new. This could be that you are looking at like expiry dates or connecting to new things in your life. Could be that, you're looking at rolling contracts and deciding whether you want to renew a contract with a service provider or with maybe even a subscription, for example. For some of you, this could be that you want to travel, so you're looking at like visa, passports, the dates on those things. But also the Fool card can indicate that you're tapping more into your playful side this month. You're open to the goodness that the universe has to offer, because let's face it, the world is a very challenging place right now, and there's so many layers to life and the world. And this came up with my guides this morning. Actually, there was a conversation before I started reading for anybody, and my guides were just highlighting a message they wanted me to sort of like impart, and I'm going to do this as a short, but the energy of it is popping up here now. So it can be that the world is a very crazy place right now. Okay, there's a lot of intensity, there's a lot of uncertainty, and it can breed fear. But I'm reminded by my guides that life is all about layers. Okay, so the layers are starting with self. There's the inner layer where we have those deep thoughts, and I feel like this is going to be a month where you have some very deep thoughts, because it being a milestone period for you as you approach your birthday season. But also, this is about quietening your surroundings so you can hear the whisper of your heart and really listen to the next steps, because I feel a lot of you are prepping or planning for something. And, you've got that Two of Wands energy. So it feels like you are in the planning stages of something, or you're actually mapping your progress in something right now. But also there is another layer. There's the other layer, which is like outside of yourself, all the things that you connect to, people, situations, like your job, your money, your environment, your neighborhood. And then, of course, the outer layer again is the world. It is, what's going on in the world, and that can breed fear, uncertainty. It can, make us feel anxious. So we can zoom in and out on different layers at any time. So really it's about being empowered and choosing to really focus on the playful kind of layers right now, because that's going to serve your higher purpose, especially since we've got the High Priestess there. It's like a ripple effect. If you focus on the thing that worries you or breeds fear, that's going to amplify, because you have the Sun energy, which is amplifying thought or, emotion or energy at this time. And, if you focus on all the things that bring you peace, if you really zoom into your projects, into your like family unit, into how your heart is feeling, the path you want to take, your feeling of destiny, for example, then of course, that's when you really start to enjoy things a lot more, because you're connected more to your sense of purpose rather than the layers that are always outside of yourself. Layers outside of ourselves will take care of themselves, but we must zoom into the inner layer to really affect the outer layer, if you know what I mean. As you can see there is a ripple effect. The very center is that footstep that that Fool card or that Fool person has actually made, right? So it's like your footstep or your next step in something is going to make a major ripple in your life. Don't fear the process. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Everybody who's ever done anything has always questioned or always like worried or been anxious, even though, that confidence can override it. There's always going to be that thought like, well, what if it doesn't work out? Well, what if you fly? What if it's more successful than you ever imagined? So I feel a lot of you're either launching like an entrepreneurial ship or a new idea or a new style or a brand new confidence about you. And I feel with this Queen of Pentacles energy, because of course this is an earth energy, you're really grounded in your plan. So I feel that this is you working really hard to make things be a potential or to tap into the power of possibility right now. Now, of course, because of your 6th house and because of the Queen of Pentacles, you are going to be thinking about like your 401k, your pensions. I mean, some of you, because we have the Fool card twice here and we have different queens here, this could indicate that, you're thinking about retirement or when you feel like you should retire. So it could be that, you're looking to friends or soul tribe members or, people in your community, like, are you going to be on the same time or pace? And what I mean by that is if you decide to retire at a certain age, perhaps your sibling, if you have one, or, your best friend, perhaps they're going to retire at a different age. And, you are going to be then searching for your soul tribe and really connecting to all your projects and loving what you do. But at the same time, that 2 of Wands there can be that, you're waiting until maybe one of your friends can retire as well. And it's like, then you're going to like travel lots, or maybe it's your partner, for example. It could be that, either you or your partner are thinking about retiring and it's misaligned. It's not at the same time. So it's like you're just waiting until both of you can go off and do those things and have a fresh new start. So please apply it to your situation. Of course, it's going to be different for everybody. But I also feel like you're setting yourself up to make sure you have the right finances for that. And I feel like you really are going to put yourself in the right position. Now, for some of you, this could be that you're planning some sort of new start, whether it is to move abroad, whether it is to really find your place in the world, go to a different neighborhood, or if you feel like you've hit a plateau in your career, then it could be that you are being curious about new avenues to build on whatever it is that you've done already. Doesn't always mean that you're leaving a place, but it could mean that you have a new experience in your working environment based on new knowledge, maybe new technology or some sort of like progressive hardware or even software that helps you move forward in some way. Now, of course, the Queen of Pentacles indicates that, you are someone who is committed to your plans. And I feel like you are being really like, conservative with your resources. That's what I'm seeing. So you're making what you have go a long way. You're going to find really good deals this month. I feel like you're creating some sort of financial strategy, some sort of financial planning and goal that you will stick to. And you're going to be really proud of yourself that you did, because that Queen of Swords energy, when you apply it to self energy, this can mean that you've been strict with yourself because you have a greater use for the finances. So you could be like saving for a large purchase at this time and you're waiting, you're holding out for it because you have Hangman energy and a 2 of Wands. You're waiting for something. Okay, it feels like you're planning for something or preparing for something. I mean, for some of you, and I don't really want to like jump down the rabbit hole here, but for some of you, not all of you, but I have to mention it because it's just popped up and I got to be honest with the energy that comes through. Some of you may be like looking at the world at large and feeling that there are some bigger changes that are coming our way. And you may be feeling, in order to protect your family and your stability and your unit and your home space, you're making some preparations regarding that. Now, this could be that you are like, for example, buying some like extra food substances. And this is to guard against like inflation. Because if you look at some of the food substances that are on the shelves right now, they're like nearly double in price. So it could be something like that. I'm not seeing anything negative here. I want you to be aware of that. But some of you may have this on your mind. And my readings are not really about this sort of thing. But I do feel that some of you may be kind of feeling this anxiety or feeling like cautious because the High Priestess energy is like keeping something to yourself that is deeply on your mind. But it can also indicate a mistrust. Okay. And the mistrust, we got the 4 swords. And we got the Strength card. So it's like you mistrust the energy right now. You feel or foresee a challenge or some sort of like problem in the future that you feel like you just need to guard yourself against. I mean, I feel like you're in a really good position to safeguard your interests, whoever you are, okay? But I'm going to disconnect with a lot of love and respect from that energy. I feel there is this kind of like feeling that you're like on the right track and that, you know, you're aligned with what you need right now. Interesting. I'm being given this song, and I actually was given this song before I started doing your reading. It's so interesting because I'd stepped away for a moment to like contemplate your energy. Okay, I do a little 10-minute like meditation before your reading, but I hadn't even got to that stage yet, right? And I was just writing down some things as I kind of like prepare myself to tap in and meditate on your energy. And a song came to me, and this song is a very famous song. It's the Rolling Stones. Gosh, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called You Can't Always Get What You Want. Okay, I'm not really sure if that is the title, but it's definitely a lyric that I keep hearing. So I kept hearing like, you can't always get what you want, and I'm hearing it right now. But if you try sometime, well, you might find you'll get what you need, okay? So this is a very famous song, and I heard it as I was just about to tap into your energy, and then I kid you not, there was a program on the TV, and suddenly the end credits started to roll, and that song came up, and now that song's coming up again. So, you know, the synchronicity of this song is incredible. So I would say you may hear this song in the next coming weeks, but I feel it's shifting. What I mean by that is it's like there's something here that you've been waiting for a long time or working hard towards accomplishing, and it just always feels like it's out of reach. So you may feel that the universe hasn't sent you what you want right now, has sent you what you need, because this is a very practical card. But I do see here that in the future, you know, the universe is going to send you what you want, but you'll already have what you need as well. So I just get this energy of like doubling down on something and attracting something more. It will come in when the moment is right. So don't give up on the thing that you want to settle for the thing that you need, that you have. Okay, that's something that's coming through, but I feel that message will be reinforced when you hear that song a little bit more, okay? So with a lot of love, I'm going to disconnect from that energy, but the Queen of Pentacles indicates that you're working hard to keep your life running smoothly right now, and you're actually attracting opportunities that will help you in your endeavors, okay? Now, the Queen of Pentacles can literally be all about playing house. So a lot of you will be like restructuring, DIY, making some new additions, or even decluttering in your home space. And the Sun card is like this fresh new energy. But also I feel this is about expanding on your projects. So if you're already like an entrepreneur, or you're a creative, or you're working in any industry at all, I would say you're expanding your reach. I would say that you're expanding on opportunity, but also I feel like you are manifesting some sort of fresh new approach or new start. This could be a new client. It could be a new department. You may hear that there's some like restructure going on behind the scenes in your company, or, you know, wherever it is you work, and you're being given like a new office, or maybe there's a refurb and there's going to be like a new department, or even like a new building, maybe even a new branch somewhere you may be seconded to, because I'm getting this energy of like reshuffle, okay? Now, of course, if you are currently out of a job and you're currently looking for an opportunity, I do see here that you are someone who is super talented. You've got a lot of knowledge. You're someone who's very practical. You finish what you start. You're someone who has a wealth of knowledge, and, you know, I feel like you're more than capable. A lot of people may have told you that you are overqualified for positions, but actually that's not true at all. I feel more than anything, you know, you are very qualified, but I feel like they just don't want to pay the going rate because they're making some downsizing behind the scenes. But I feel like they really want your skill set. So I do feel that there is an opportunity coming on in here. And with the Two of Wands, for some of you, you know, there may be a starting salary, but it will increase over time. So it feels like, you know, this song is playing again. So it kind of feels like if it's a probation period, it may not be the money that you want, but it's the money that you need right now. But there will be the end of the probation period where suddenly it's new money because you're now signing a contract for, the actual role. It's almost like a trial period, the probation period where it's like a starting salary and then you increase. So again, I'm getting this energy that there is a new role available. However, you put up with a certain amount of money first and then it increases over time. And the time seems to coincide with a probation period because we have the Fool card, which is like the start. So it's like you've already started, and with the Two of Wands you have to wait, and then the Fool card is like the official start of something, okay? And then you get the amplified money. And for a lot of you, this could be something that you're trialing at this moment in time in April. It doesn't have to be connected to a job, but if you are looking for one, I definitely see one coming on in. I feel like you are required to implement your skills, be really organized, and they need your knowledge, whoever this company is. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, this could be you and a person thinking about merging or diversifying, or you're connecting to a brand deal, for example, or you're some sort of influencer that gets to expand in other ways, like diversifying, really going international in your projects. But also, I feel this is a time for signing contracts and making sure that you get the better deal, okay? A lot of you are focused on your sense of purpose this month as well. Now, the Sun card, as you can see, there's a beautiful sun there, okay? But there's also a gate. So a lot of you may feel that you've been locked off from fun or happiness or something because you've been prioritizing something or working on something behind the scenes. Because we do have that High Priestess energy, a lot of you are contemplating something new or working on something new, and you feel the right time to expose it or reveal it or launch it is soon, but it feels like you're waiting. It's like you're getting everything in order or organized before you launch it. And I feel as you move out of April, this is a perfect time for you to launch, okay? We have a lot of energy that has been against us for the last couple of months. We've had a lot of retrogrades. We've also had a lot of eclipses. And, we haven't been able to catch a break. So if you have not launched something by now, don't, berate yourself. You are actually working with the energy because the energy has been against launches to some degree. It doesn't mean that there's anything negative with it. It just means that you'll have a better launch pad when you actually, come out of all of these retrogrades. And, we now have the eclipses behind us finally. Okay. Now, the Sun card, of course, it is your protagonist energy. So this is about you looking at things that increase your energy in a healthy way. So a lot of you may be looking at training in something, or, changing a diet, for example, or actually, connecting to things that bring you joy or just make you feel good. And I feel with that Sun energy, this is about you kind of embracing joy in life and kind of pushing through some of the challenging times to embrace positivity. There's an optimism about you right now. But also, the Sun is an energy card. So it can be that you've been feeling exhausted, but April injects a little bit more energy so that you can nourish whatever it is that you want to in order to make it grow. When you think about the Queen of Pentacles, she's connected to the gardener aspect of life. It's like you've planted a seed and now you're nurturing it. And of course, it requires some sort of first step, in the right direction. And even if you are not sure where it's going to go, you must make that first step. The Queen of Pentacles indicates you work hard to make sure that it is planted in rich soil, that you keep tending to it. And of course, the Sun is basically helping photosynthesis, as it were, in order to nourish and help something thrive. So you could be putting the spotlight on something that you've been working on and looking at it from a new approach, or almost deadheading the roses to promote more growth. So you may be cutting back in some areas, cutting back your energy or your attention in some areas because you feel something else requires your focus at this time. Now, a lot of you may also be planning some sort of getaway. It could be a seasonal break that you're taking either with yourself, your family, or a friend, because I feel this desire to like break free, to be in the sun. So it could be that you are like trying to tie up loose ends, get everything organized before you go on some sort of vacation. There will be delays. I hate to give that message to you. I feel like they're going to be like brief delays, not something that's really going to impact you where you'll have to get some sort of like compensation. So that's always good. Now we do have the High Priestess, and we've got the Four of Swords and the Strength card. Okay, these are in the resistance position at first, but they will go into the upright. Okay, so a lot of you, I feel like you have been trying to put a smile on your face, although you have been dealing with some sort of challenge or some sort of heartbreak or burnout for some of you. And I feel thinking time is necessary. It's like you needed a pause, you needed a break, and you're going to have high energy, but I feel like you are going to find that balance to make sure that you have quality time to listen to your thoughts. You know, the world is a very busy place, and I feel like you've been pushed and pulled in many different directions. You've been super busy. I mean, I feel like the pace will temper in the month of April, where things are much more manageable. But the High Priestess energy indicates like you're holding your life in review. The High Priestess is a very deep thinker. So I feel like you're opening the door to the subconscious mind this month to kind of like reprogram your brain in some way. Like, what I mean by that is like in beneficial ways, right? Like in the morning and last thing at night, you may be asking questions like, how am I showing up for myself today? What did I learn from yesterday that I can implement today to help me move forward for tomorrow? So I feel like you're reviewing your life to remind yourself of what you want to stop doing, or what you want to stop connecting to, or whatever is hurting you or not helping you make progress. I feel like you're reminding yourself like, no, I don't want to do that. Why do I keep slipping into that? Why am I reaching for a quick fix? What is the trigger? I feel like you identify some sort of trigger this month to basically eradicate it so you don't reach for that quick fix, or you're not tempted to connect to something that does not help you move forward. Now, of course, you know, I feel here with the Four of Swords, some of you have been healing from something. This is a period of like taking stock of things, getting closure on something. And this is a big month for reflecting, especially since your first house is governing you. So you're going to be thinking about yourself, of course, because, you know, you're reaching a milestone when it comes to your birthday. You know, you may be thinking about your identity. You may be thinking about the path that you took to who you are now, all the challenges and difficulties along the way. Some shaped you and formed who you are right now. And you may feel that there's a process about you right now where you may revisit very challenging emotions or memories in order to really lay the ghost of it to bed, finally, because I feel like you're going to get a lot of closure on something in the month of April. And it's not something that you talk about. It's something that was a challenge for you, but you don't openly discuss it with other people. I feel like you tend to put a smile on your face, and, you know, I feel there could be a conversation with you and a friend, or you and someone who's in your immediate circle, and like this conversation is triggered. What I mean by that is either a friend or someone you know is going through something very similar, not the same, and I feel very similar, and they may actually like blurt it out, whatever they've been going through or whatever they have been processing. It could be something they witnessed or experienced many years ago, and suddenly they're like, you know what, I got to talk about this because it's been on my mind a lot. And you may be like, oh my gosh, I've been through something very similar. And suddenly there is this like really open, raw conversation where both of you may have known each other for years and just never talked about it. It feels like some sort of secret is released. And the heaviness, the pressure that went with it, it doesn't diminish what happened in the past, but it somehow takes the pressure off, you know, this discussion. It's like, oh, it's out in the open, and I just feel like it's a weight off your shoulders, okay? And it helps you get some sort of closure on this, whatever this is, okay? Now, the High Priestess can also indicate a lot of you are, especially since it's partnered with the Fool card, you may be kind of like shutting down any like cycles of repeat that have occurred because of your childhood, you know, reprogramming any kind of like patterns from your childhood that perhaps you have picked up from your parents or guardians. You know, there's no blame game here, but sometimes unhealed people, of course, they are guiding the next generation, and they may not be aware. And each generation becomes more awakened to different factors of growing up, for example. And it could be that you're identifying some things that have been left with you that you want to reprogram, that are not your story, that you have kind of like been influenced by, but you don't want to continue. So you could be breaking a generational cycle in this month, and that is very challenging indeed. And I feel actually it's time. I feel it sets you free, and there is just this like fresh kind of like start where you are kind of like seeing things from a different perspective, where as you mature, you realize the circumstances or the decisions that had to be made in the past, and you may have done things differently, of course, but you understand a little bit more like a viewpoint. Doesn't mean you agree with it, doesn't mean that you're happy with it, but you kind of understand with a bit more depth, and it helps you free yourself up from this. So this is quite a challenging energy, but it is a rewarding one as well there, okay? Now, of course, I want you to be aware of so many ripple effects in your life. You got these two cards, both of them have like knowledge and, you know, courage and like curiosity. And I feel this is the ripple effect that is going on in your life in the month of April, being independent, being free. Now, this can manifest in many different forms. For some of you, this could be that like your children are going to college, for example, and now you have a little bit more free time. You're still going to worry about them because, of course, they're your children, but they're fine. They're making their way, and you have guided them to be who they are, okay? But also they are who they are, but you have guided them into these next steps. So for some of you, it could be if you live with your parents or your guardians, you may be like leaving your home in order to like go to college or perhaps have your own apartment. Some of you could be actually free from a responsibility because you've suddenly paid down lots of debt, or you are kind of like moving on to freer times. Please apply it to your situation, but I really feel it gives you this sense of relief in the month of April, whatever it is. But also, I feel, you know, there is this energy of like looking back, still feeling that, you know, you're really grateful for living in your parents' house, for example, or really grateful for the start of something, and now you're like taking it to the next level. It just feels like you're looking back thinking, okay, that was great, I had that, now I'm going to build upon it. So it's like you having like a start where you are now more in control of the next steps. And whatever steps you make in the month of April, I feel it sets you up for the rest of the year. This is a big deal. So whatever you're launching, I mean, it could be for some of you, you're in training. You could put yourself on a course of knowledge. You could go on a spiritual retreat. You could actually, you know, learn something about you, or suddenly discover something about you and how you deal with challenge and how capable you are because of the circumstances that you've had. Now, sometimes this is a very, how can I say this? Intense energy that's coming through. You know, sometimes we have to recognize, especially if you've been through some sort of trauma, you know, we don't just heal trauma and anxiety and depression and all of those things to be able to deal with more of the same. You know, you're not setting yourself up to be capable of dealing more of the same. Sometimes healing from trauma is actually to allow yourself to be open to joy again, to have fun again, because that's the hardest thing. It is to overcome a challenge in order to embrace fun and joy and laughter after a challenge. And the Four of Swords there, for a lot of you, this is the card that is after a heartbreak or a challenge or a setback or a disappointment. So if you have had some sort of, you know, struggle or some sort of disappointment, I feel like you're getting over this, and now you are open to more joy and prosperity into your life. It feels like there is a wonderful fresh new start here. Now, of course, the Four of Swords in the resistance position at first, it can indicate that you've been feeling restless or anxious and you've been close to burnout, but you're ready to act on something new because an opportunity is going to be delivered to you in the month of April, especially at the end. I feel something you've waited a long time for is kind of like, how can I put this? It's like you're going to get some sort of sign or marker that it is coming in. It feels like there's still a ways to go. It still feels like you're on the path towards accomplishing it, but you're getting some sort of hint from the universe or some sort of like physical evidence on the earthly plane that it's going to happen for you. So if you're waiting for news, I feel like you're going to get that news, but what comes after it, you have to wait a little bit more. So for example, if you're, stepping into a promotion, it can be that you're going to hear that you're stepping into that promotion finally, and then you have to wait for all the logistics to occur before you step into that role. For some of you, it could be a bonus that you're being offered or an increase in your finances, and you're like, yes, but you have to wait until the beginning of next month or the end of this one, for example, so that it can be processed. So that's something that's coming through there as well. Now, we do have the Strength card, but it's in the Resistance position at first. And this can indicate that, you've been dealing with something that has been a challenge. I feel a lot of you are deep in thought about something, very philosophical energy here. And I feel a lot of you have, been racing through life a mile a minute, like neglecting your own needs, or you haven't had much time to really reflect and pause on something. But April is that month for you to be able to do that. Of course, you're going to be on top of your goals, your dreams. You're going to be organized, structured, productive, and really serious, because that Queen of Swords is to be strict with yourself about all the things that you need to do in life. But at the same time, I feel like you need quality time in order to reflect on creature comforts, but also to really adhere to your own needs. And I would say the Strength card is showing up as an energy right now of having courage of heart to launch something or embrace something or take a risk. I mean, it's a calculated risk. I feel like you are wanting to get out there and, embrace all that life has to offer. And because we have I do apologize, the neighbor has a new dog, okay, and it hasn't really settled to the neighborhood yet, and it doesn't really like other dogs right now. It's going through a training process. So I do apologize if the noise is super loud, okay. I do have a microphone that should limit the amount of sound there from outside energy, but if it doesn't, I just want to apologize there. But coming back to your reading, I feel this is about you kind of taking stock of the challenges that you've been through that have now made you strong enough for the next part of your journey. But the next part of your journey is going to be a lot more fun. Let's put it that way, okay? Now, of course, because you have the Fool card twice, and your first house is governing you, I'm getting an energy here that, some of you may return to a style that you used to love. This could be a hairstyle, this could be a makeup style. My readings are not really about aesthetics, but I do feel that some of you will be thinking aesthetically because of that Queen of Pentacles energy. You're going to be focused on health, you're going to be focused on your body, you're going to be focused on revamping a look for some of you. So you could re-embrace, as it were, a style, or just literally go through your wardrobe and be like, oh my gosh, I used to love that item and I used to always wear it. Why don't I wear it anymore? A lot of you are going to embrace that this month because it reminds you of who you are, and a lot of you are reconnecting to this sense of self, okay, and feeling comfortable in your own skin as well there. Now, you're going to be doing a lot of soul searching for your place in the world because of that first house. So it's not all about aesthetics. So, you're really going to be embracing what makes you stand out, whether that's in business, whether that's in the neighborhood, whether that's in a competitive arena. I really feel like this is your month to shine. But also, I feel more than anything, this is a huge soul searching month for you. Especially with that Hanged Human card, this can indicate that some of you are restructuring your world after a period where things were turned upside down, or, this is you kind of signaling an end to an old way of doing something because you feel like you've been there, done that, and you just want something new. The Hangman energy can indicate that you are sacrificing something or letting something go that has been really hard to let go of so that you can embrace a new viewpoint. And my beautiful Taurians, you always get the rainbow energy, which is all about turning, things around. When you think about the ingredients of a rainbow, rain and sun, and you've got the Sun card there, the Four of Swords is after the rain, right? So I would say to you that now you're creating something really special or really unique after the struggle. So I feel you're turning pain to gain, basically. And that can be in all walks of life. For example, if you're hitting the gym every day, or every second day, or whatever it is, you're consistent in whatever it is you're doing, it's hard work to commit to that, right? But there is going to be a payoff where you start to see evidence of things shaping up in the direction that you want them to shape up in. If you are consistent in your projects, you know, it's hard to remain consistent. I feel that's one of the biggest challenges that humans have, actually, is consistency. But you're constantly showing up for yourself, and you are actually consistent in your endeavors, and that's when you're going to see the payoff. And I feel like you are due a payoff because you have been showing up for yourself and for your family and others quite a lot. So this hanged human energy, you know, it feels very much like you have all the ingredients in place right now, and then you're about to springboard towards something, you know, greater there. Now, of course, the hanged man, hanged human card, it can also indicate that you are letting go of things that have been holding you back. These could be like, how can I put that? These could be things like food substances that make you feel bloated or lethargic, or perhaps you are tempering something that is a nice quick fix, but you feel like you've had too much of it. It's oversaturated. It's not hitting in the right way anymore. You may feel like you don't want to do this anymore because, you know, it's something that has become like a habit rather than something that you enjoy. So a lot of you could be decluttering or like detoxifying this month as well. But when you think about the hanged human, this is like to suspend oneself, to think about something like taking stock of a decision or taking stock of who you are, where you've been, and where you want life to go to next. Because I really feel like you are about to take a next step in your life. There is a window of opportunity for you to climb a staircase, step up in some way. And I feel like you're honoring your time and you're going towards a portal of opportunity. Okay, and what I see here, you know, there's this beautiful big light here. Okay, so I feel like you could be in the spotlight for something where you increase your reputation, or you are like taking some sort of appraisal or an interview or a meeting. I feel like you really stand out in some way. I mean, the star energy is like a galaxy. I feel your wish will be fulfilled, but there are certain steps you need to take in order to get there, and you're on your way there. So you're on the right path. A lot of you are focused on your sense of purpose path this month. And this is the cosmos, okay? I mean, for some of you, you could literally be taking some trip to go camping or something, or go to a place that has a beach, the sun, and you could be like looking up at the stars because there's so many stars in these cards, and you're making a wish, something that you've wanted for a long time. It is coming towards you. The wait is on purpose. Some things have to show up in divine timing because, you know, there is a reason for that. Some things that I really wanted when I was younger, if they'd shown up when I was younger, I probably, you know, couldn't have expanded on those opportunities as much as I can now because I have the knowledge. Sometimes we need to learn more things before we can have the thing that we really want. And I feel a lot of you, it's a learning process this month. You're learning more about yourself, your position, and you're going to be in the right place at the right time to actually, you know, have the opportunity come in. Also, I see here new knowledge. So a lot of you could put yourself on a course of learning this month that is going to expand your reach in some way. And if you're returning to college, at first you may feel a little bit like a fish out of water, but actually you're really going to take to it really well. And you're going to step into something that has a bit of a family feel to it where you're really embraced. Okay. Now, I also see some of you applying for something and you may have to wait for it, a permit. I feel it will be granted, but it may get a little bit like lost in the system for a while. So there could be a little bit of a delay with it. Don't lose hope. It is something that is going to, you know, expand your reach or in some way kind of like help you with something that you're trying to accomplish. It will happen in divine timing. So for example, right, and I'm just giving you an example, if you're someone who is lucky enough to have like a house, you know, and you're deciding to like expand on that house, maybe, I don't know, I'm just giving you an example. Like if you are someone who has like one of those like glass conservatory type things in your mind that you want to expand your house with, right? And you have to ask for a permit to build a conservatory connected to your house. You may have like put a permit through and, you know, it's lost in the system and you're like, oh my gosh, I applied for this like months ago, but I haven't heard anything. And they're like dealing with it, it's processing, and it's like going to take months when normally it only takes like a couple of weeks. You may be really frustrated, but in that time frame, the equipment that you need to build that conservatory, or the materials that you require to have that conservatory, they may go down in price when finally you get the permit, right? So it can be that if you got the permit months before, you would have paid more money for the conservatory, but the permit was delayed, so now you pay less. So I feel there's some sort of divine timing. And of course, I mean, I'd love to be able to afford a house that had a conservatory, for example. But, you know, if you are trying to build on something in your life, anything at all, and there's a delay, there's a reason. And you are going to see why the reason was offset, because when you get what you are wanting, it will be much better than it would have been if you received it earlier, if that makes sense, okay? Now, Queen of Swords energy, you're going to be super organized. I really feel like you are like visioning a future, because I feel there's a lot of planning here. This is planning stages of something. You got that Two of Wands, you're deep in thought, you're strategizing, you're being really precise, you know, you are being straightforward and honest with yourself. And the Two of Wands actually means that you're on the right path. And it also means, you know, that the universe is aligning you to bring you what you need right now. And then to build upon that, you'll get what you want. So again, that song, I mean, it really is relevant in some way. But the Queen of Swords, you know, this can be that you're making shrewd decisions for your life, especially at the end of the month. I feel like you have a big decision to make. And I feel there is this kind of like intelligent, perceptive energy about you where you just know that now's the time to either take that step or make that decision, and you won't question the path any longer. It's like, you know, so you're moving forward with that. But also this card can indicate, you know, moving away from a suffering or a grief or a sadness, or like taking an approach where you acknowledge it happened and you're kind of dealing with the fallout of that. And now you're just like a little bit on autopilot at first, getting everything done. But I feel like there is an energy of putting yourself in the right position to kind of like move away from this from a healthier perspective and realize that you're still connected to the good stuff. That's something that's coming through. I'm not really sure what my guides mean by that, but that's what's just come through. You're still connected to the good stuff. So if you feel like you missed out on an opportunity, because the Hangman can be an indication of like a perception of a missed opportunity, that you feel something got sacrificed and you've had to wait. But actually, I feel it's because the universe wants you to have something better. So that's something that's coming through there as well. Now, of course, at the end of the month, swords with that Queen of Swords can indicate some of you like may decide to write about your story, or you may write a book, or you may vocalize something that you've been thinking about. You could get a publishing deal during this period, or you could actually kind of like draw attention to something that you're launching, or promote something at the end of the month that is actually really going to take off. I feel it'll be a slow energy at first, got to be honest with you there, but over time you'll see that things really like pick up a pace, and a lot of people are interested in whatever it is that you have to say, or whatever it is that you're launching at this time as well. But I feel you're tapping into different aspects of self. So you're in the planning stages of something. A lot of you are connecting to your home. So it could be that you are either planning to sell your property if you're lucky enough to have one, or it could be that you're looking at where you feel like you belong in some way, because the home space is really like focused for you during this month. Now, Two of Wands is an energy of like planning, but also travel. So some of you could have some quick trips. That's why you're in organizational mode. It could be that you're trying to get everything done, tie up loose ends, be really productive and goal-oriented, because things are time sensitive. I feel a lot of you are also going to deal with like documents, emails, administrative tasks, basically your errands because of that sixth house, and you're going to get everything done so you can have a break or like completely switch off. However, your mind is still very active is what I see there. So try and embrace a little bit more fun, or submerge yourself in the act of doing something fun for you, because that will take your mind off all the things that you feel like you need to do. Because sometimes we can take a break and actually like not really shut down or really shut off our thoughts, okay? So I feel getting good quality rest is important for you this month, because the following month is going to be a faster pace. And also I feel, there's a lot of rewards coming towards you as well. But, this Two of Wands energy, this can indicate that you are like, plotting, planning the next stages. I just feel like a lot of you are making a first step on something, or you are getting ready to launch something. And with that Fool card, it just feels like exciting. It feels like there's a lot of potential there. And I really feel that this is about you like kicking back and having fun, having more time for you or your family, or having more time to do things that you love. And also, for some of you, this could be that, like, if you're planning to have a family, it could be that this month is focused on, you know, having a child, for example. A lot of you, it could be that you are going into some sort of treatment in order to perhaps aid that if you have struggled with fertility, for example, especially since you've got the Queen of Swords there. It could be someone who's very knowledgeable, who has the qualifications to help you with that. For some of you, if you are pregnant, this could be a month where I would say baby comes a little bit later than usual, because we've got the Hangman and the Two of Wands. So you may have to wait a little bit, and they may have to like give you a little nudge is what I'm seeing there. But, you know, congratulations if that's you. I feel like it's a nice energy with your child, because it's like this child is like not going to sweat the small stuff. This child is going to be like super chill. Okay, so that's something that's coming out there as well, because you have the Fool card twice, which can indicate children. Some of you may hear that someone is pregnant as well, and you may actually give advice if you've been through this process before, is what I'm seeing there. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Taurians? Anything else they need to be aware of for the month of April? We've got the Darkness Moon energy. So this can be the Hermit energy. You know, some of you have been like, it's really interesting. You know, you are an opposing sign to Scorpio, of course, on the chart. So it's interesting that both of you got very similar cards. I mean, Scorpio got those two cards. So you may have placements in Scorpio, but if you don't worry about that. Basically, because you're opposing signs, sometimes, you know, you're in opposing houses. So sometimes when you're in the 7th house, you know, Scorpio, at the end of the month, they'll be in the 7th house. For example, you'll be in the 7th house at the beginning and they'll be at the end, because you're opposing. So this Darkness Moon energy, you know, this can indicate that there is a tide and a tide for everything. And what I mean by that is like cycles change. And sometimes we can be really like energetic and excited about doing something, and the next minute we feel, oh, I don't have the energy for that today. And you're working with the energy. That's why you got that Sun card. It basically means you're tapping into your body's energy to like transform your life in some way, but at the same time, you're acknowledging when you need to take a rest, or, you know, you're finding the balance in, you know, the give and take of life. You're not pushing yourself too hard. You're not going against the tide when you feel the energy is against you. But I feel like you are open to change and launching something when you feel the moment is right. So this would really connect to you waiting for something before you feel the moment is right to expand on something there, okay? Now, of course, the Darkness energy really taps into someone who has struggled with something. I feel a lot of you are looking at the shadow self this month. You may be a little bit more sensitive than usual, but I do feel like you're processing something in order to be more open. You know, when you've got marine life, this can indicate purifying energy, maybe even purging some very challenging emotions, a cathartic experience there in order to, you know, basically let go of anything toxic. In this card, there's like pufferfish, for example, so that can indicate toxins. A lot of you may be increasing your water intake in order to flush out toxins and things like that. Some of you, especially since we've got transformative pressure, it can indicate that you are basically trying to push for some sort of change, but you're not actually going to implement it just now. You know something needs to change and you're kind of like planning for it. But, you know, you'll know when the moment is right to do that. I mean, this is number 26 when you reduce it. 2 plus 6, of course, is 8, and that is the self. So I would say that you're looking at the nature of pressure that you put yourself under, you know, the sacrifices you make in order to make your life run smoothly. But you can basically view pressure as being negative, or you can view it as being positive. being positive, it means it's a shaper or a director of positive influence. So if you feel pressure in some area of your life, like you've hit a plateau or something isn't working, the pressure will rise. And that's your body indicating something needs to change. It's a gauge, an inner compass. And I feel a lot of you are tapping into that inner compass in order to transform your life, manage stress levels, but acknowledge that you want a fresh new start somewhere. You know, if you do something all the time, you can get pretty bored of it. So we need repetitive cycles in order to have structure, and structure works really well for us. But at the same time, you do need to like kick back occasionally and try new things. And I feel that's this month. I feel like you're really explorative this month. Now, also we have richness. I love that word because you've got the Queen of Pentacles there. So new money-making ideas. Some of you may be launching a strategy for new money-making ideas, or even partnering up with some sort of social media platform, because the Queen of Swords can be like the ether. It can be a platform or a connection to something that helps you create, because it's a feminine energy. That's the creator energy. It can be that you're utilizing the air in some way, because swords, you know, that's connected to the suit of air. So it can be that you're utilizing an internet service provider or, you know, an internet platform perhaps to help expand your reach when it comes to your message. So I would definitely say that you could double your finances eventually if you're launching something. But we have marine life there, okay? And this can indicate that fertility is yours, whether it's an idea, whether it's you wanting to get pregnant, you know, whether it is you birthing like a vision to life. You know, you are very fertile with ideas and inspiration in the month of April, and you can make it become your reality. You know, this card, it can literally mean that one way or another, you're going to have a wish granted, okay? And that, you know, if you've been having any struggles or problems, you're adapting to something new that can find a solution to that problem. So I would definitely say a lot of you are going to be very sociable as you kind of like move towards the end of the month. The beginning of the month, it feels a little bit more homely. Maybe you've got some things to poodle around the home doing, but at the end of the month, I feel like you're a little bit more sociable, connecting to hobbies, going to like festivals and, you know, invitations, but also a little bit of a deep dive emotionally because of your first house, and you've got the High Priestess there as well. Also, if you notice in this card there's like sharks. Okay, shark energy can be to go after something and take a bite out of something, trial it, see if you like it. Also, you've got like pufferfish, which are all about like toxins or feeling bloated, for example. You've also got a little seahorse right at the back there. Now, this can be that you're doing something bold and daring and different, not typical to form. You're being a bit of a maverick, doing something daring. You know, the seahorses, the male seahorse actually carries the babies to term, for example, which is not typical to form, shall we say. And it can be that you're doing something different that is outside the box. And I would say that, you know, it's going to be very fertile for you. But also, seahorses connect to soulmate energy. So if you're looking for love, I mean, it's not your focus this month. I got to be honest with you. Your focus is on having fun, being free, kind of like focusing on your plans, planning something for the future, approaching things in a different way, connecting to your higher self and overcoming something. And I feel more than anything, you may be talking to someone new in the neighborhood or talking to someone new online. And I feel this person's a little bit younger than you, but I feel, you know, if you're looking for love, I feel when you talk to this new person, I feel like you're going to wait it out. I feel like you're going to like wait until you either meet this person's friends or wait until, you know, things kind of like develop. You're not rushing into anything. So I feel, you know, there could be a fresh new start there, but the energy is saying, like, don't rush into it. You know, get to know this person first. Really open up and allow this person to also open up so that you can really get a feel of who this person is to see if they have the same kind of, like, life goals as you, okay? So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. Okay, they don't want that. That kind of fell out of my... like it kind of like went through here. So I'm going to pick it up just in case. We got the anchor, emotional security, but also the anchor is about your destiny. It's about you removing an anchor of where you've been feeling stuck in order to move on to pastures new, or even to, you know, discover a place that feels like home so that you can lower the anchor and stay a while. So I'm just going to leave that there. It kind of like fell out of my hand there. But what you did get was the trinket of balance, the yin and yang, okay? So, I mean, this is a very insular energy, okay? And this is a very kind of like outgoing energy where it's a little bit more free and flowing. So I would say that you're working with the energies. There's a time to be insular and to really think about yourself, and, you know, a healthy energy to be selfish sometimes for your own needs. And then, of course, opening yourself out to others there as well. Balance is the key. And I feel it is actually going to be a very peaceful month for you when it comes to all the things that you connect to. So I'll leave it there. Hope something resonates in that reading for you, my beautiful Taurians. If it does, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press that little notification bell. Lets you know when I update my next message. Lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Taurians, and love and light.